In this presentation, you will hear from employees who have spent many years working in the BlackHawk program. While their experiences are unique, the underlying mission is one that we all share as a company, and that mission is to provide our servicemen and women with the helicopters they need to protect themselves, our nation, and our allies, and to always remember we can never let down, ever.
During the Vietnam War, the Army relied heavily on Bell's UH-1 Huey as its primary utility helicopter. In 1965, after an extensive aircraft study, the Army called for a new utility tactical transport aircraft system known as the UTAS. Bell, Boeing Vertol, and Sikorsky all placed bids to design what they knew would be the new wave in helicopter domination. And on December 23, 1976, after years of design and experimentation, Sikorsky won the Army contract with its YUH-60A prototype, also known as the BlackHawk.
The key ingredient was being almost 100% responsive to the Army's requirements.
And in October of 1978, Sikorsky delivered the first BlackHawk helicopter to the U.S. Army.
This BlackHawk is the first of a new generation of helicopters for the U.S. Army. It's a real demonstration of tremendous accomplishments.
And today, the BlackHawk is among the most successful helicopter programs in the world, with more than 3,000 aircraft produced, serving in every branch of the military, and nearly 30 foreign countries.
The Army in general loves the BlackHawk helicopter. It is the current icon of the global war on terror that we're currently engaged with worldwide. Today, when we woke up, there were over 300 conventional BlackHawks in support, direct support of the fight in both Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operations Enduring Freedom.
The longevity of the BlackHawk is certain because of the commitment Sikorsky employees continue to make in support of providing our government customers with the highest quality aircraft.
I think back as we were loading out of Kuwait to start Operation Iraqi Freedom, I think it was in March of 2003, I went out and I'm looking at the soldiers from the Great 101st that are loading this airplane up, and I'm looking at a crew chief and I say, hey buddy, how many soldiers can we get on this aircraft? Because we've talked about an ACL of being 16 or 17, and he looked at it and the door was just packed and people were bulging out, and I said, well, how many soldiers can we get on this? And you know what his answer was? One more. Sir, we can put one more on. Always one more.
Currently, there's over 1,700 aircraft for the U.S. Army. Great foundation. Don't forget that the Naval Hawks, both the Sierra Romeo and all the previously fielded Seahawks, are all based on the BlackHawk. So the basic BlackHawk, then evolving into the Naval Hawk, provides a sound foundation for our U.S. Army, Navy, as well as our other services of department.
The responsibility we have on our end of the business is to make sure that we build the best BlackHawk that we can, that we take the extra 5 minutes on the line to make sure that the window is straight, the wiring is correct, the rotor blades are correct, so that when a soldier, a young man or a young woman who's in the fight, who is going to carry that burden of carrying our infantry soldiers to the fight, they're prepared, the aircraft is prepared, and it will do what it's supposed to do.
I have a personal experience flying in Afghanistan. I was called for assistance with the BlackHawk to rescue 2 special operations soldiers who were wounded and pinned down on the side of a hill. I flew in with the aircraft, my crew and I, and we received extreme damage to the aircraft, 57 bullet holes, 2 RPGs, but we were still able to get in and pull out the Special Forces soldiers and bring them to medical care.
The BlackHawk meets the needs of the Army each and every time. The aircraft allows them to rescue those in trouble, to perform the most difficult of missions, defend against the enemy, and save the lives of thousands. The high-quality work that employees provide each and every day is the lifeblood of the BlackHawk program.
For a person who's producing a BlackHawk, who sits every day and puts a tail rotor on a BlackHawk at the plant, they're not really just putting on a tail rotor. What they're really doing is giving our nation the ability to execute its primary mission through the military, and that is to bring hope to the oppressed, free those that are oppressed, and help those who really can't help themselves.
happy birthday to the BlackHawk.